Okay, just need to double check that, yep, the microphone's working. It hasn't turned off. Nope, it's on. Okay, now, f of x equals 4x, g of x equals root x. So, in this question, we want to find g of 25, g of 25, f of 25, f of 25, before we do the rest. So, g of 25 is the same as root 25, which is 5. F of 25 equals 4x, so it's 4 times 25, equals 100. Which means f of g of 25 is the same as f of 5, because g of 25 was 5. G of 25 came out as 5. Which means we've got 4 times 5, which gives us 20. G of f of 25, well, this time f of 25 came out as 100, so that's the same as g of 100, which means we're finding the square root of 100, which is 10. F of 25 is the same as f of 25 was 100, so f of 100, which means it's 4 times 100, which gives us 400. G of 25 equals g of 25 was 5, so that means g of 5 is the square root of 5, which we can't actually, we leave it like that. Okay, for question B, I'm going to have to read it. Find f of g of x. So g of x was root x. F of g of x is 4 times root x. So it's 4 root x, because f of x was 4x, yeah? So if I was to color code that, was to. So g of x was root x, so we substituted that in. F of x was 4x, so we did 4 times, so it came out like that. For question C, we've got g of f of x. We're going to do something similar. G of f of x. Well, f of x is 4x, so we've got g of 4x, which means we've got the square root of 4x, which means we've got 2 root x. Question D. Show that f of g of x equals 2 times g of f of x. Well, I'm going to start off by writing this thing. Well, f of g of x was the same as 4 root x. 2 times g of f of x is the same as 2 times 2 root x. So we end up with 4 root x on both sides. So just to color code and show you where I came from. There. And the 2 came from the question. Okay, and E. The domain and range of f of g of x. Well, f of g of x equals 4 times the square root of x. This is interesting. So let's look at the domain. Can we have any values that x wouldn't be? Well, x can't be negative. Be negative. So the domain, x greater than, or it could be 0. The range. So 4 times the square root of x, it's never going to come out as a negative number. Y won't be negative. If we had 4 root 0, then yes, it could come out as 0, but again, y greater than or equals 0. Should I be using y? No, I should be using f of g of x. If I were to sketch this, by the way, 4 root x, I'm not going to do this nicely, square roots always generically start and go like that. It's a good one to know. Okay, that's question 7.